Welcome to Beyond Flow. My name is Tammy and this is Maria, and we are your hosts, and we are here again with you today. So grateful that you're here, and we have decided to talk to you a little bit about what has inspired us from writings, from books, from teachers, from inspiration in our lives. And before we get started, just wanted to remind you, if you can subscribe to the channel, share it with others, whatever feels right to you, it'd be amazing. We love the support and we're so grateful. So, our favorite quotes and teachings, right? Mm-hmm. At least some of them. Kind of put a little display here to give a visual. So one that came to me right away, and I think a lot of people relate, is Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer is such an inspiration. And he said something simple, which was, change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at change. And, you know, I think that applies so much in the world that we live in. The perspective is everything. So when something doesn't feel right or something feels off, if we can shift our perspective, typically we're looking at things from our own eyes, from our own lens, and sometimes we aren't able to see the bigger picture or to see somebody else's side or perspective or, you know, that thing. So when something's hurting, I think we can initially look at and just say, let me shift the way I'm seeing it and see what that does to the situation.
Yeah, that reminds me, well, I mean, it goes with one quote that I was gonna use from Tina Turner, the book. I actually going to read it.
Love it.
And I don't want to go away from that, but it goes a little bit in the same, I guess, line to what you're saying, which is, you know, I always when one of the reasons why I like the idea of doing this, it's because none of us are able to connect to wisdom by ourselves. We all need a teacher, we all need a guru, and hopefully our connection to God, to the Creator, to Divine Mother, however you connect to that, your higher self, for me, each and every one of the ones that we're going to maybe touch a little bit on each one of them, it's for me, they're already, some of them I feel like Yogananda, you know, when we talk about the Course in Miracles, they're already connected to, they're not just quotes, they're teachings, and they already, for me, when you connect to those quotes, is something that we can use, that we can relate to, and then, you know, helps us in this divine journey.
It's guidance,
I guess.
It's wisdom and guidance.
Yes. And so there's one saying that I really personally connect to, especially when I'm going through moments that are difficult or moments where I cannot understand what the purpose of that experience is. And it's from, Tina Turner, the first time that I heard it, before I started practicing chanting and the Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which is from Nichiren Buddhism. So the first time that I heard the concept of, it's right here, which is changing poison into medicine.
Yeah. Wow.
So that is
profound.
That is the same. It's the same of what pretty much what you're saying, which is we can change the way that not only looking at something, but if we go deeper than that, because in the moment it feels hard, I love how it says it here, it's poison into medicine. How do we change that poison into medicine is how we look at it.
Wow.
And the experience at the end is, I think, what will give us the actual, that poison at times is exactly, at times not every time, is what gives us, what transforms us, what the blessing is on the other side of that, what we call poison.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say something from her book, and then I want to go back to you. So it says, the concept of changing poison into medicine is based on the idea that when you raise your life condition, you can use the resulting wisdom, courage, and compassion to convert any negative into positive. And so that is if we think about it, okay, so this is how it is written. This is the concept of changing poison into medicine. Changing the way that we look at things. And I think how do we do that? And this is why I always ask you the questions, because it's important for people to know, okay, so when we're going through something that feels like poison, something that feels hard, something that feels, I think the most important thing for me in this and in that is to know that absolutely everything that we go through, it's always from God, and it's always for our highest good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it is kind of like that stuff that happens when we're confronted with something or we're in a situation. I was reading about fear earlier, and it's kind of like, where do you, like, as far as a practical, where do you feel that feeling that doesn't feel right? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your throat? And I think we're all different in kind of where we hold stress or where we hold those, that uncomfortable. And what I was reading was talking about how when you go to meditation, it's also a time not just to sort of clear the mind or to empty the mind, but it's also to go to connect to that area where you're feeling discontent, where you're feeling
or disconnected.
Yeah, disconnected, but you're feeling like, I always feel things in my chest. I think you feel things in your stomach.
In my stomach.
You feel, Virgo, Cancer. I think that's the, I think there's a logic astrologically actually that is so true about the different signs and how we process things, but is to go to that, that area and soothe that, like give that some love, give that area, calm that vibration down physically, and then we can kind of work through then getting to a little more state of peace. And what happens is you are opening yourself up to figuring out that whatever's happening has a solution.
Yeah.
The answers will come to changing circumstance, like she mentions, is, something that when we step back away from that resistance and that suffering, you can, be led to a more harmonious answer to our dilemma.
Yeah, so this is something that I wanted to say from her book, which is an amazing book.
Oh, it's so good.
Change, one of those books that really they change you. I think every single book there has impacted, it's impossible not to say that
they're so worth reading.
It's
We're going to
amazing.
list them all in the notes too.
Okay. So here it says, changing poison into medicine then starts with a simple step of facing your problems with the confidence that you have the power within you, not just to overcome challenges, but also to thrive because of them.
Wow.
So this is the part where, when we're facing something that feels heavy once again, or almost you're going through a heartbreak, or you're going through something that feels like you're never going to come out of that pain,
Right.
to know that, first of all, that pain is exactly what you need to experience in that moment. As a matter of fact, sometimes we come into this world to ask for that particular moment.
Yep.
And we forget that what we come here to do, whether we like it or not. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and then I asked you to be involved because it was a very important conversation, you know, and it was about what's happening in the world and how do we, you know, the wars, and we're not going to get too much into that in this, you know. But I remember saying, you know, there's a reason why we choose to be born in certain moments, in certain times,
with certain locations.
Certain locations. So my point in that is that sometimes we make that choice in the upper world to come into this world just to face that particular challenge.
Right.
You know, there's people.
And it's what we asked to do.
That's what we asked.
We asked for it.
So if we go through life understanding that one day this body, again, it's gonna, you know, and I think I say in every episode because it is the truth. I don't think there's anything more spiritual than knowing that one day this body is gonna be done. Mm-hmm. And it's scary for some people. For some people, it's the transition of what this
the next level. It's the next level of the soul.
So
nothing to be really afraid of.
What is it that we come here to do? We don't want to continue the karma, right? Jumping into the karmic wheel of, you know, repeating the thing. So when we go through the challenge, that's why some of the sages used to say, give me more.
Yep.
Give me more. Because as you go through, you know, what we call the uncomfortable or the painful or the not so good, that is how, you know, the muscle, when we go to the gym, is to break it. Mm-hmm. We're not building muscle at the gym. We're breaking the muscle. So it is the same. It's how the soul expands.
Yeah.
Through what we call poison, through what we call challenges, and then if we can look at them, and this is where
a different perspective.
If we look at those situations differently, then we can experience the miracles and the blessings and the transformation and the expansion of our soul.
And it's like to look at things from a different perspective. It's really understanding that we aren't here to be abandoned or to suffer. We are here as spiritual beings, part of a cosmic world, and everything is here to help us. Everything is on our side. We're not here to fight or defeat anything. We're here to remember our fullness and our wholeness, and these little lessons are kind of just part of our education. Mm-hmm. And we aren't abandoned here. And I think it's so important. So that new perspective is trying to look at things from a more divine place.
Absolutely.
So whatever helps us get there.
Okay,
that was fun.
You have another one?
Well, I do, but you have one?
I have one.
Go for it.
Mine is short.
Do it.
It's one of my favorite things. And you'll see why, because I believe in this so much. And it just happened that I found it in the same book. And of course,
that's why it's such a good book.
You know how it is when you're looking for something, you can find it. But hold on, I think I did. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things, and I think if there's one rule that I live by, is this: there are two rules in life. Number one, never give up. Number two, never forget rule number one. And it's about not giving up.
Yeah.
So I've been through enough trials, challenges, situations in my life where it's very easy to say, I'm going to give up. I'm going to
throw in the towel.
Towel. And the importance of never giving up. Sometimes right before we're about to get the blessing, we're gonna get tested. I know there's a Kabbalistic teaching that says right before you're about to get a really good amount of money, or when you're about to get money, sustenance, abundance, you're gonna be tested with anger. So we're always gonna get tested.
It's so true.
Whether it's, for everyone it's different. But what I want to say is that if you feel that nothing is working for you, that, the heaviness of this world, the way it is with so much, I think everybody's going through, everybody feels it. Everybody feels the division. Everybody feels the heaviness. Everybody feels the uncertainty of what the next day it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Hold on to, number one, to God. Number two, to having faith. And knowing that giving up is not an option. That we're all here, to go through the good and the bad together, but to know that no matter what we go through, to never, ever give up. If I have given up the times that I felt like giving up, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I'm here by the grace of God, because the challenges that I've been through in my life, I know for sure, well, I was born in some of them, so I know that they come from agreements that I made. From
like a perfect design, as
right
crazy as it feels.
So it's no matter, I think the more the pressure, the more we're about to get into the miracle.
Yeah.
So if you feel it, it means if you feel like giving up, it's because you're very, very close to manifesting that your soul truly desires.
Yeah, and I definitely experience, and have really practiced a lot the idea of, at the end of the day, leaving that day finished and not carrying that day, whether something has you worried or concerned. That when the day is done, I like to listen to more like inspirational or just vibrational things, falling asleep, and waking up immediately, because it's easy to wake up immediately and go right into the thing you thought you were so worried about. But to go immediately into calming, there's tapping exercises, just breath work and things, but just going into a place of gratitude and feeling that sense that it's a new day and there's limitless possibilities.
Yeah.
That we really can never give up. We really can practice that by not just like release each day, release whatever it is. Trust that you can surrender those things that we don't have answers to. We can surrender those. We have support. Mm-hmm. We have spiritual support. They're all waiting to help us, and we can start a new day and keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Okay. All right. New one. This is Brené Brown. Love her. She's so
I love
inspiring.
her too. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people connect with her. She's hysterical too.
By the way, we don't know what our quotes are. So that's why I'm like,
so
okay.
Listen up.
Okay.
Here it is. So she said, because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance.
Wow. Okay.
So I definitely think she's really good at tapping in, touching on self-worth. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, that's what I got.
That honoring of oneself. Mm-hmm. And however, if you're not feeling 100% one day, that it's okay. And it's okay to share that. And it's okay to also honor that in others, and to truly understand that our imperfections are what make us who we are, in a sense. Like, we are beautiful in our imperfections because we're not robots. We're not carbon copies. We really are magnificent beings. And it's so hard sometimes to accept that and say that who I am, who I physically am, is actually part of my purpose. Understanding that as I sit in this physical world, I'm already connecting to some of my purpose, not just what I'm meant to do, but my presence is part of the big picture. My presence matters. What I think or feel or struggle with or, need to work on or can share, we have to accept ourselves and be able to be that exact perfect light that we are for the world. And I think we have a hard time with that sometimes.
Yeah, and I think also to add to that, and I really like that one, I don't think I've heard it before. It's not only, especially in a world right now where we get so much information thrown at us, where we think everybody has it together, everybody has, the perfect body, the perfect life, the perfect
social media drama.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I think I've I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, but I think we've mentioned that it's, for me particular, it's very hard to, not that I don't like to live in this earth, I'm very grateful, and every day I'm very grateful to wake up, but I almost don't find earthly things as when I used to be younger, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As a younger Maria, maybe I was more attracted to the physical things.
Right.
And now it's more what I get the most, I guess, pleasure. It's completely not in the physical things. And why does that have to do with that? It's because I think the more we connect to our true selves,
yeah,
the more we can show up authentically.
Yep.
And not feel bad because maybe you meet someone that loves to go, I don't know, nothing against going golfing, but maybe that's what they connect with. Well, I don't really, it doesn't mean I don't want to try it. I can try it, but it's not what maybe calls me, right?
Right.
Maybe in the past, myself, and I'm sure a lot of people would, because you want to belong, you want to feel, let me go golfing, and maybe you love it. But if that is not your authentic self, then it's okay. Maybe I want to go, I don't know,
plant some flowers.
Yeah.
Or
go
whatever.
Get my hands dirty with,
right.
plants. And,
right.
That doesn't take away, but it's almost like, it's okay. Even if they say, wow, that's so nerdy, or, you're so this, you're so that, is showing up, being authentic, and knowing, like we put it in the entrance of the store, share your light.
Yeah.
Because your light is unique. The world needs it. And
exactly how you are.
Exactly, with the exact dimmer.
Yeah.
Some people might shine differently because that's the light that it needs in that moment, in that room, in that city, in that country, in the world. So I think
totally.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. It's our light is it's perfect. Yes. And if we can accept that, then we are being part of making this world a better place.
Okay. So this is one of my favorite.
Such a good book.
Yes.
Such a good series.
The Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you haven't read this book. Please get it. I'm not going to say what it's about because it will take away, but it's an incredible,
it's really
amazing.
And it's very easy to read.
So this book, I was maybe 14 years old. The first time I saw it, probably younger. And then my uncle, who passed away, he talked to me about this book. Wow. And he said, because he always knew that I liked, I wanted to have my own business someday. And so he said, I just really, the name of the book really didn't had me at hello, because I'm like, wow, the greatest salesman in the world. This is going to be about sales. But it's not.
Yeah.
It is one, if not, it's the first time I read a book from beginning to end, which is very hard for me to do at once. And the first time I cried, because I can cry watching a movie, but not from a book. And this is the first time that I cried at the end or at some point in the book. So there is something that I love about this, and it's going to go a little bit with what you said. So is I will greet this day with love in my heart. So, and then I want to say something about this little part. Of course, I don't want to talk about the book because I want people to read it. But it's the fact that, you know, when I think, for me, what is my motivation even to do this, to do the podcast, which, you know, I wasn't like, oh my God, yes, I can't wait to do it. It's not my favorite thing to do, not because I don't have a lot to say. It's just, I think I'm a little more of an introvert. So it's a little bit of a, you know, pushing myself here. But so this one says, okay, so I will greet this day with love in my heart. So first, before I read a little bit what he says, I went into, so what is it? How can we every day wake up and if we can say that with love in my heart.
Yeah.
If every day we say, you know, every day I'm going to wake up with love in my heart, that means that no matter what happens during that day, if it's not from love, and if it doesn't come from love, then it's not real.
Yeah, it's so true.
Then nothing that we give energy to, the gossip, this one said that, the bank account went minus, the rejection, the breakup, I wasn't accepted in this university, you know, my daughter didn't get to the grades that all of that, yes, it's part of the human experience. But if it doesn't come from love, if it comes from love, you won't feel the heaviness.
Right? Exactly.
So I wanted to, I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing, but it says, for this is the greatest, okay, so I will greet this day with love in my heart. For this is the greatest secret of success in all ventures.
Wow.
I don't need to read anything more than that. This is the secret.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, no matter where, you know, before we go into a meeting, before we even, let's say, you know, you're having a discussion with someone and you want to tell them you did wrong and you hurt me by doing what you did. And I remember you said, check with your heart first. Do you want to tell that to the person because you want to be right? Or you want to point out that the person hurt you? And then I took a little bit of time. I paused. I said, okay, let me do a little bit of restriction here. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be right, and I wanted her to know that she really hurt me. Mm-hmm. But then I understood that the reason why I wanted to do that, it didn't come from my heart. It was coming from my ego, from the pain. Right. So if we can always remember that every day, because we don't know when is the last day. Mm-mm. We don't know. We think that we have, you know, so many years ahead of us, but life can change in 1 second. There's 2 clocks in this world, right? Our clock and then God's clock. So I think this was beautiful. For this is the greatest secret of success in all ventures. So no matter what we're going through, not only what we're going through, if you're thinking of doing something, sit with your heart. Yep. And if love is part of that, then it is guaranteed success. Doesn't mean it will be easy. I'm not saying that's not what this is about. Right. Nothing that it's worth doing, nothing that is worth having, nothing that is worth giving birth to, it's easy. Yeah. Even physical birth. But if we know that we can start our day with that love in our hearts, then God will open all the gates for you and for us.
And at the right time that it's supposed to be. And if you don't feel it in the heart, rethink the
Correct.
idea, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next, The Untethered Soul. Great book. This one is, it's here in the front.
Okay.
Untethered Soul, Michael Singer. Okay. I thought this was a really profound, I remember this. What a good book that it helps you understand how the mind and the ego puts us in a very unreal movie, and we have to master that. But it's a great book. So this is the quote. Your relationship with God is the same as your relationship with the sun. If you hid from the sun for years and then chose to come out of your darkness, the sun would still be shining as if you had never left. You don't need to apologize. You just pick your head up and look at the sun. It's the same when you decide to turn toward God. You just do it.
Well,
I thought that was powerful. Just an amazing reminder of how we can connect to the light at any time. And there's times in our lives where we feel separated and we feel we got on a different path, and we want to bring ourselves back. And I think that's a lot of what Flow Life has always represented for people, is getting back to their soul, coming back to the light, coming back to their oneness, their wholeness, their connection to something higher, their connection to their self. And you don't have to feel bad. You just turn back and go toward the light.
Yeah.
So it's easy.
Turn to the light.
Yep.
Okay, I have a last one because I think you probably have a few there. And this is not so much a quote. This is because I don't think I can quote
The
teachings.
teachings,
The teachings
the
of
intense teachings of that.
Paramahansa Yogananda, and this is
Amazing.
the second coming of Christ. And I think that as a Christian, that I'm consider myself a Christian, but I'm more of the spiritual version of Christian. It's not so much the religious way of connecting to the teachings.
Yeah.
I think that this book helped me not only become a better Christian, but understand the teachings of Jesus Christ better.
Right.
That's why I like that he says the second coming of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the resurrection of the Christ within you. So this is something that
That Christ consciousness.
That Christ
Let's
consciousness that
think
we-
about. We spoke about that before.
that if you haven't watched it, watch it.
You can.
So this is not a quote, but it's something that I because every morning I read something that it's spiritual,
Yeah,
that
the
can
teaching.
a teaching
Yeah.
or something that I love to start the day with, something that is it's inspiring. So I think I'm gonna have to take off my glasses on this one. So this one, I don't know if the microphone it's good, but hopefully it is. I am going to, okay, here it is. So the potential to remain in heavenly consciousness regardless of outer circumstances. This is a little part that says,
Yeah.
so this declaration of Jesus offers great encouragement to every soul. Although men go through all the perplexities that accompany residence in our physical body, God has provided him with the potential to remain in heavenly consciousness regardless of our outer circumstances. So, I mean, if we can go on and on and on. This is really like amazing. My one of the things that why I love this little part, and then again, I mean, it's an incredible book. It's how no matter what the physical circumstances, what we are experiencing outside of us, we always have the potential to remain in the upper world.
Yeah.
That we don't have to experience what we are experiencing only from this three-dimensional reality.
Yeah.
That we can, when we're going through, you know, the challenges, go to the upper worlds, go to your higher self, go to the Heavenly Father. That's, to me, that's what it means. Go to God, and then the rest, because the potential is not just a thought, it's a choice.
Yeah.
So if we choose to always go to that, then no matter what we experience in this world, it's not that it's not that important, it's that it won't feel that heavy.
Yeah. And it is,
You can put this
you
over
know,
there.
it is a movie. This is a movie. And we talked about that in a previous episode, talking about Yogananda and the idea that this is like a movie screen in a movie, and it just really isn't that real. We need to lighten up, you know, and work on just feeling that sense of home, but that sense of home is something much higher than this limited realm.
Absolutely.
Well, I could go on, but I think I do have a quote from Yogananda.
Okay, no, do it.
Let's throw that in, and we'll do the
And
other
then
ones.
and then I finish with a quote. You finish with a quote.
And we'll do some of the other stuff on another one.
Okay.
Because we love sharing books. Okay, so I thought this was really great. So this was a Yogananda quote. He said, "The great man talks very little, but when he speaks, people listen. It's true. You will never find a greater man who is very talkative. He's inclined to be rather silent, to be more involved in listening than in talking. But when he does speak, I'll listen."
Wow.
What a important, I thought, reminder that we need to listen more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we forget that we think we have to be heard, and we do go through things where we can be shut down, and so it's not about that. But the majority of the time, the people that we encounter that are nonstop talking, they never listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we forget that we're here to share more than take. And I think really listening is the form of sharing that we miss the boat on a lot of the time. So I thought that was a really powerful
I love it.
statement.
So I'm going to close with one of my favorite Yogananda quotes, teachings. And it is that a divine universal plan exists, and it is beautiful and full of joy. So that's it.
That's it. Just remember that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and full of joy.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.